Bizarre Brain Comics.
Hello, my comic book friends, and welcome to Bizarre Brain Comics. I'm Gary, your host. This is where I like to take a look at some older comics, talk a little bit about the characters and creators, and examine the stories and the art. Well, this time I just wanted to show a more or less random fistful of comic books. So I went out in one box and I grabbed two handfuls and selected some books from each handful to make it, sort of random. And it turns out that most of these that I selected are books that I have done episodes on, but they were like a couple years ago. So if you see one of these that you might want to see a more in-depth into, you can find it in my back catalog here. Okay, and we're going to start off with this one. This was No Man, the Invisible Thunder Agent. This is number 2 from 1968, I think it was. Cover drawn by Wally Wood. The whole Thunder Agent deal by Wally Wood from Tower Comics. It's a combination of the superheroes and the spy genre that was so popular in the 60s. And I think it did a good job. The Thunder Agents keep popping back up, even though it only lasted, the original version only lasted, about 2 or 3 years, I don't remember. And may have been that one of the downfalls was that they almost everything they published was in were 25-cent comics. They were square bound, larger. They had many stories in them. So this is all No Man. He's just one of them. I think most of the Thunder Agent stories only had 2 or 3 titles. Like I think No Man and Dynamo, and then the Thunder Agents, and then they both appeared in there as well. So, and these stories feature a bunch of them. And none of the interior art has Wally Wood. Dynamo versus No Man. They were the two most popular characters of the Thunder Agents, and there's no writing or art credits here. But I suspect this was probably drawn by Werner Roth. I can't be sure, but it looks kind of like. I've been recently reading some stuff drawn by him, and it sure looks like it. And I did an episode, a whole episode on this. And it's also got a story on Lightning in here, and this is drawn by Chick Stone. Of course, Lightning is their speedster, and so it's different. And then it's really lovely art on this one, and No Man Target. And I said I did an episode on this one. I think I just covered the in depth that first story. Then we have from 1983, Green Lantern number 171 with a great Gil Kane cover, because of course Gil Kane did. I did an episode on this one too. Which was disappointing because I wanted to do an episode on it when I saw it, but I already had. Gil Kane was one of the original Green Lantern artists, but he's a great cover, and but you usually might be disappointed because the interior art isn't as fantastic as the cover. Well, here while it's not Gil Kane, it is. The interior art is just as fantastic because it is Alex Toth and Terry Austin and Shelf Life. This is some beautiful artwork and an interesting story, and some cute little alien characters, etc. And then with the backup story, where is it? There it is. This is Todd Klein and Dave Gibbons' backup story on the Green Lantern Corps. And here is one that I did not do an episode on, but I have done an episode on a different issue. A Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea. Although I have shown the book before, but not in detail. That's a great cover. Of course, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, the 1960s TV series from Irwin Allen, based on the Irwin Allen movie about the futuristic, high-tech submarine. And of course, this took all the events, and these all took place in the 80s. But this is a great Alberto Giolitti artwork. He did a lot of these. He did a Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea and Star Trek and other stuff with well, I don't, because I'd like to do an in-depth on that one, so we might do that again sometime. And here is the Fantastic Four, number 271. This is with John Byrne. I think this would have been about John Byrne doing the mid 80s. I've forgotten the year, but this is cool. This is cool, and I did one on this, and just because of this, in which it is a story told in flashback to before the Fantastic Four, an adventure to the time of Atlas Comics with their giant monster comics stories. And Reed Richards is the hero who does away with the giant monster menace. That's a lot of fun as an homage to Jack Kirby. And here's one I've shown, but I don't think I did an episode on. Horror and Fantasy Illustrated, Plum Island, and from Zenescope, and otherwise I'm unfamiliar with it. It was a pretty decent little horrifying story. Some great artwork. That was cool. And this is just from last year, I think. Then we have Mad Dog. This is actually two issues here, but I've got it in a way because this short-lived series was based on a Bob Newhart TV series, which only lasted one season. I can't remember the name of it now, in which Bob Newhart was a cartoonist, and he created this character, Mad Dog, and he worked at Ace Comics. And so this is showing... So this is a title based on that comic character from the story. And this is him, the Silver Age version of Mad Dog, and then it would be a flip book, and on the other side would be another Mad Dog story, or part of the story of the then modern version of that Mad Dog. This is from, and that was from the 90s, I think it was. So it was considerably different creative team, and I did an episode on that, highlighting that aspect. Then here we have Dial H for Hero. I think I did one on this one. I think it was this one. It looks like it's a cool cover. I may have just shown it. I don't remember. And of course, Dial H for Hero. This is from Adventure Comics 487. And this one is a little different. A story title that goes back as a backups in various titles, especially Adventure Comics, back to the Silver Age, in which these kids have these mystical dials, and they've done a more updated version of it. But they dial. A dial is kind of like a telephone dial when telephones had dials, and would dial up Hero, and each time they would do that, they would become a new and different super character to fight off a menace. And and they would have the readers send in character ideas for them to use. That's kind of fun. And it's Ross Andrew Dick John on the cover. I think it was I suddenly can't think of his name. He used to drew the Flash in Silver Age, and Batman too. Carmine Infantino. Oh my gosh, I couldn't think of his name. And here we have The Tick from Free Comic Book Day just a few years ago. The Spoon. And you know, I don't think I've read this issue. Ghosts of Sidekicks Past. Yeah. Ben Edlund. And of course, whoops, I knocked my thing over. Of course, he started doing his own comics like this for New England Comics, and he moved into television, was a writer and producer on Angel from Joss Whedon, and Supernatural, and I don't know what all else. So that's interesting. And there's one I did not too awful long ago. Little Lotta, just some little humor, and never cared. I was never a big Little Lotta fan. I wasn't happy with all the fat shaming involved in that. And then we finished this up with Brave and the Bold number 104, featuring Batman and Deadman. I did this, and I did this one about a year or so ago. Nick Cardy cover, but interior. Who was the writer? Bob Haney wrote it, but some great Batman art from Jim Aparo. And yeah, he is my favorite Batman artist, and he does such a great job on that. So that is all the fun stuff I had to share with you this time. Just a little brief fun look at a fistful of comics. And this ran longer than I wanted to. So I want to thank you for joining me. Please like, share, subscribe, leave your comments down below. And remember, most of these I have episodes on. So if you want to see more about them in more in depth, you can look in my back catalog there. Thank you for joining me. And remember, comics are art.